Hola guys and welcome to Capture Prod, when polygons meet desire. My name's Leon and today I want to share my experience of creating geometry nodes in Blender to fake a dripping simulation. Well, to avoid 18 plus stuff, let's just call it a shower gel dripping on a surface. Sounds safe enough? And make sure to watch until the end, or at least move to that moment using timecode if you don't want to listen to everything, because I'll explain some important issues of this approach. Anyway, let's start. I've seen a lot of different tools online for making this kind of viscous liquid effect, but the one I liked the most was made by FrostBound 3D. The idea is simple: you draw curves on the surface and they define the shape of the liquid. The setup is available publicly and I'll leave the link in the description. Then I thought, since geometry nodes in Blender are super powerful stuff, we should be able to make this stuff flow without using heavy physics simulations that need baking and need a lot of performance. So I used the FrostBound 3D setup as a base, but changed it a bit. And just to be clear, we're not simulating real liquid here, it's a fake motion. So grab some coffee, whiskey or both and let's go. Since I mostly work with male characters and don't want to show anything too controversial to a wide audience, I downloaded an Ada Wong model from Resident Evil 4 Remake by Sticklove from deviantart. Many thanks for this rip in XPS. I made a quick pose for her, it's not perfect, but this is not the final artwork, we just need something to show how GeoNode setup works. Following the FrostBound guide, we create a separate collection. Inside it we have a curve and mesh that acts as emitter, for example a cube, and then follow the instructions of the guide. Actually, I won't go deeper into every step of the guide because you can watch it on X. The main idea is line mesh cube to curve and then transform it. The current pipeline goes through curves, points, volume, then smoothing, material and output. Add additional smooth modifier with values which is showed in tutorial on X. But here's something important. Pay attention to the radius in points of volume. It depends on your model scale. If you just copy values from the guide, you might get huge blobs. For my models, 0.003 works fine. And when you set up the material, increase the density in principled volume to somewhere between 60 and 100. This will make the material less transparent. I also added a bit of roughness, just a tiny amount compared to the guide, but these parts are totally up to your taste. Right now, instead of liquid, we have something that looks like maggots on the face. That's totally normal. Use the extrude tool in edit mode to shape your liquid the way you want. That's for static shots. Also, the material from the original guides work properly only in cycles because of light path nodes. Eevee doesn't support ray tracing, so it looks worse here. Now let's make it actually flow. First, we control thickness. Take group input and prepare to start chain from it. Add map multiply, this controls overall thickness. Add another map multiply, this controls how much height affects it. Then add map range, this defines how thickness will change from top to bottom. I use the next parameters which showed on the screen, but you can tweak it freely to achieve your own result when flow will be ready. Next, add separate XYZ and use Z because our flow is along Z. Add position and connect it. Now we're going to make another chain to make a liquid stick to the surface. Add object info and choose your mesh with surface, face, body, whatever. Add geometry proximity, then from sample position add vector add, connect it with position. Next, add set position node between curve to points and points to volume. Connect geometry proximity slot position to set position slot. Each point finds the closest point on the surface and move there. That's why the liquid stays on the mesh. Now we'll make the movement itself. Add scene time from seconds, connect to map multiply node. The second value is speed. For me, minus 0.005 works fine. Remember, it must be negative because we connect it to Z via combine XYZ. In Blender, downward motion along Z is negative. Otherwise, your liquid will flow up the face face. This vector becomes the second input in the vector add node we created earlier. Okay, we almost did it. There is an optional feature here. You can add a small offset on Y, like negative value around 0.001 or 0.002, so the liquid sits slightly above the surface. This helps reduce clipping. I didn't really need it, but maybe you will need it in your case. Now switch to layout, press space, and boom! Your shower gel, slime, alien blood, whatever it is, flows down the face. This works really well for shots where the head is tilted up and the camera is above, if you know what I mean. The liquid mesh may clip or sink slightly in some areas. Overall, that's normal because the surface is uneven and we're not running a full simulation. Personally, I don't think it's so critical. You can also use this on body, clothes, different items. If you lower viscosity in map range and speed, it can look like water or blood. You can even build more complex setups with droplets with a simulation zone, but honestly, that's a bit advanced for me right now. Still, the cool thing is, everything is procedural. You can tweak it however you want. But here's a very important point. If you already have a scene with a character and rig and you want to apply this geometry node setup, make sure everything in the same coordinate space. Always create your emitter and curves and the character directly in the final scene and the correct position. This will save you from most geometry nodes issues. So the object, the curves and the surface character mesh must be all properly aligned in the scene and have correct transforms, like scale 1 and rotation applied. Geometry nodes are very sensitive to coordinate space. If something doesn't match when you connect position to set position, you might run into a common issue. The scene freezes for a moment, the liquid mesh disappears and collapses into a single point, usually at the object local origin or near world 0. I faced it when I tried to apply some juice on the character from the ripped dirty scene. I mean dirty in case of messed coordinates, and realized that it must be done directly on just imported character and not after manipulations with him in the scene. Because after all manipulations, all my transforms were fucked. And yes, if you want to move the model to another location, don't forget to select the character's armature along with liquid and the curve and move them together. If you're planning something dynamic, you can use a bit of hacking method and bind the liquid to a bone. Choose the cube, armature, then go to animation and pose mode, choose the right bone, for example head, then Ctrl P, bone, and check the keep transform. But keep in mind that in this case it will transform along with the character's movements. You also won't be able to draw and extend it afterwards, since the new droplets will respawn at the center of the bone or mesh and stay anchored there. So this approach is more suited for static scenes. On the other hand, scenes like these usually have minimal dynamic, so it's fine. And that's it. Hope this video helps mood creators and the other artists who looking setup for such tricks. And yeah, I probably go and test this on Leon Kennedy, Sam Bridges or someone else from my asset library. Thanks for watching, take care, ciao.